Saliva, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sports Explosion Special Edition. We're here over at WKID Studios. I am Woj. Over there across the desk is A-Dog, and we got his buddy Doormat. On the phone, we have head coach Jon Norris from the AFL's Battle Wings. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay. How you guys doing down there, all right?
Another day, another dollar. Can't complain.
There you go. There you go.
So let's jump right into it. You guys are in the new franchise in the Arena what was the AF1, now in the Arena Football League.
Arena Football League, yes.
How happy are you to be at this level, to be back at this level?
To be back at this level, well, having started in this league in 1987 as a player, I played for Coach Markham back in '87 with the Denver Dynamite back in the day, and it's almost like this league has come full circle, and I think it's in a place where it's in a business model and where it can be a part of the football landscape, and arena football can grow into the future from here.
And that's the thing, arena football. I mean, it was flourishing pretty well. Let's be honest. You know, back in '08, and then like you said, the business models changed a little bit, a little more about the team in the league as opposed to what it was before, if I can say that. And I mean, personally, as a fan, as a player, I'm glad to see it back. I don't think there's been any kind of an affordable venue of entertainment that gets you as close as you do to the players, to the team as a whole.
Right.
What would you say?
Well, I mean, I think it's become the league of opportunity again. I think back in the 90s, in the 80s and the 90s, back when I played in the league up until about 92, it was a league of opportunity. We were all playing to get that shot to either get to the NFL or get back to the NFL. And I think it was much like that through the 90s. And, you had your guys like Kurt Warner, who, 3 years after playing in the Arena Football League was, MVP. In the NFL.
Now, let me ask you this. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask because you brought up Kurt Warner. What do you think about the players that make the transition from the Arena League to the outdoor game, especially like you said, Kurt Warner, when he came out of from Iowa and went to the Rams,
right?
His release, his drop, everything was faster. I mean, let's face it. When you got guys running a 4.4 on a 50-yard field as opposed to a 100-yard field, game moves just a tad bit quicker.
This game is much more like a video game. You got to have those video game type of reflexes in this game to perform at any position in this game.
Exactly. Now, we've seen arena players transition successfully into the NFL. Greg White here in Tampa, or I'm sorry, Styles G. White, is another prime example of that. What do you think about an NFL player going to the arena level?
Well, it's always been kind of interesting, especially when, the Arena Football League was more of a two-way game, and it still has some of those qualities now, but not every guy who plays in the NFL on Sunday is able to come and play the Arena Football game. That's kind of one of the interesting aspects. We're looking for those guys in this league that are quicker than fast. Whereas on the big field, you're always able to run away from somebody on the big field, but you can't run away from anybody on an arena football field. You got to understand how to run the routes, and manipulate this small field.
Exactly. I'm not going to mention any names, but a very good friend of mine in '08 went to training camp with an NFL team, thought he was everything, ended up getting cut. Goes to an arena franchise, gets signed. First time he gets put in the board, his mindset changed completely.
Exactly. And I dealt with this, as an AFL coach before, of getting guys who slipped through the cracks at the NFL and came to the Arena Football League. I think everybody who comes to the Arena Football League, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whether you're a fan, you come to it somewhat of a skeptic.
Right.
But when you play or you see your first game, you are a believer. And, especially from a player standpoint, I remember I came from the Canadian Football League to the first Arena Football camp, and I thought I was going to tear this thing up when I first got to it. And then all of a sudden they threw me my first game, and my eyes got big in a hurry.
You go in and you're like, okay, bunch of guys, well, they didn't make it to that level. Why are they here? And then all of a sudden they start throwing wood at you, and it's like, Wow, these boys can play. So
definitely a very extreme sport, that's for sure.
Exactly. That right there, you hit the nail on the head. Now, let me ask you real quick about the Battle Wings. Going to the franchise, how you became a part of the franchise, all that good.
How I first got here to Bossier Shreveport?
Yeah, for most people, because a lot of there's a lot of people who don't know about arena football. They don't know about the franchises.
Right. Sure. I came to Bossier Shreveport right before the '07 season, and I was coaching with the Austin Wranglers before that in the AFL.
Right.
And prior to that, I helped start the Dallas Desperados franchise in 2002 with Coach Alvazano up there. And but I came here to Bossier Shreveport because at the time I needed a job, and Mr. Newman here needed a head coach, and he had struggled for about 3 years with this franchise,
right.
Just not getting he didn't have an arena football guy in place to be the head coach of this football team. And we got together, and I saw how I could turn it around. And we got in here and started winning football games, and we've had success. We won the Southwest Division title in both '08 and '09 here, and put pretty good dent in the playoffs all 3 years that I've been here.
That's an accomplishment. I don't care who you are or whatever level you're at. That is an accomplishment.
Yeah. Now, I want to go back to your days. Did you ever play football?
Yes, I played. I helped start the Arena Football League back in 1987. Prior to that, I was with the New England Patriots in 1985, the Chicago Bears in '87 and '88.
Yeah, can you talk about that a little bit? I mean, that's pretty big, getting to the NFL and everything like that. What position did you play?
Having a cup of coffee here and a cup of coffee there, and it was kind of interesting because my path to the Chicago Bears started with that first season of arena football back in 1987, and that got me back with the Chicago Bears '87 and '88 season. And following those seasons, I came back and played and made my home in arena football, 90, 91, and 92.
All right, now I get a lot of flack for this question, but I'm going to ask it regardless, okay? Because that's just how I am. Which league are you? You got the NFL and the AFL. Whose players are more dedicated to the game?
That is a really interesting question. I mean, the NFL players, I think the upper echelon of NFL players, they are very dedicated athletes, year-round athletes. Of course, the money that's coming in their pocket affords them the opportunity to really focus and pay attention to it. But the dedication you get at our level is a little different. The commitment's a little different. They're guys who play for the love of the game. They're not playing for the money. These are guys who go and work back home in the off season, and they work hard so they could come here for the other 5 months out of the year and really commit themselves to playing in this league. And the guys who come and play in the AFL, they treat this like it's their NFL.
Exactly. Well, listen, Coach, we know you're busy. We know you got to get going. Before we let you go, where do you see the Battle Wings at the end of the season?
Well, we just reported training camp tonight. We got everybody present and accounted for. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the group of players that we've signed this year. We got a good mix of AF2 All-Stars, great AFL players, and a bunch of guys who have spent some time in the NFL. There's a good mix of guys. Everybody's hungry. I know everybody has signed good people. I've watched all the returns come in all off season, and everyone's signing good people. But I like our chances this year to put together a heck of a football team, and we're going to play every week, 1 week at a time. You know that old cliche.
I hear you.
And set ourselves up to be in the best position we can come playoffs.
Great.
Okay.
All right, Coach. Well,
thanks,
I want to thank you for taking the time, and best of luck this season.
Anytime. Appreciate it. Give me a shout anytime.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Bye.